Welcome to JSA TV Live, the newsroom for telecom and data center professionals. I'm Barb Mitchell coming to you today live. So many of our friends and colleagues. It's a busy conference this year. I'm pleased to have you joining me, Louis Fiallo, Vice President of China Telecoms America. Thank you so much for joining.
No, it's my honor. Thank you for having me here today.
So what are your thoughts so far on the conference?
Well, overall, I think it's a good sign because, I attended last year and the attendance wasn't that great, but this time it seems to be really a lot of energy. And more importantly, I'm starting to see like new types of companies outside of the traditional telecom companies, focus on other areas of like IoT and other areas. So that just tells me there's continued innovation in our industry. So I'm very positive about what's happening here today.
Yeah, it seems, I don't know, the sense that I get is it's sort of bigger than ever. I think that last year, for a lot of reasons, we were sort of easing our way back into in-person events, but this year, I mean, better than ever. So, yeah, I echo your sentiments. I think that it's an exciting time to be here. And so, for our viewers who may not know, can you tell us a little bit about CTA, China Telecoms America?
Yeah, we're the Americas region operator for China Telecom. We've been around. This is our 21st year, and we are providing international broadband services to U.S. multinationals that go to China and Asia, as well as we also operate with U.S. Or international telecom operators to help them solve their problems in other parts of the world where we have resources. And we've been really a full service provider. And, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the changes we've undergone.
Yeah.
But overall, we're very, an organization that's here to help a lot of us.
Yeah. So, I mean, you hinted we would talk about it. Why don't we just start with, it's January 2023. I always feel like this is such a good time to come together for these conversations because we can talk about what do you feel is coming up? What can we expect to hear from you?
Yeah. So before I tell you what we're going to do in 2023,
Yeah.
in 2022, we decided as a company that we wanted to sort of refocus our business a little bit. And by that I mean is that we decided to move from being an underlying primary provider in the U.S. to being an overlay provider. Okay. So taking advantage of some of the resources and capabilities our parent company has to offer.
Right.
So what we've done is we started building out our SD-WAN solutions. We started building out our cloud services. And as a result of that, we'll be making some further announcements this year that talks about that. And what our focus is really going to be is to help provide, hybrid cloud solutions, take advantage of some of the IoT technology that we already currently have, and bring in other capabilities that we have through our parent company in China using 5G. It's really a complete shift away from just providing point-to-point solutions and stuff. So taking care of data centers, clouds, everything. So we have a much more robust and compelling story for today's buyer.
Right. And so you mentioned, the selection of services, excuse me, provided by your parent company, really the lead cloud services provider in China. And now as you start to bring those back to the Americas, what sorts of insights can you leverage and what's that process look like?
So the best way to look at what we're going to be bringing in from our parent company. First of all, we have a product called Tiny, which is the largest hybrid cloud infrastructure provider in the probably in the world, but definitely in China. And when I say this is that Tiny is a platform that allows not only to take advantage of our cloud infrastructure, but allows us to take advantage of all our partners' cloud infrastructures, not only in China but internationally. So today we have connections with 80 different public cloud infrastructures around the world.
Yep.
We have 144 data centers that are tied to this Tiny cloud service. And then we do this in 48 different international municipalities, plus everything we have in China. Yeah. So that's a big investment that we've done. And what we've done in the U.S. is started building out some of those capabilities. And that's what we're going to be starting to offer to link it all together to this larger cloud initiative.
Yeah. And so how do you see that helping businesses, you know, with what they're doing with their edge cloud services to just make things smoother, to have the access to that?
Yeah, and that's another thing I forgot to mention is we have an edge communications platform that ties to the cloud, and that edge communication platform allows you to have whatever type of technology you're using to connect to us.
Yeah.
But once you're in our cloud, okay, we can pass you on to different cloud providers. We can do the load balancing. We can pass traffic from one location to the next. We can take you from a data center to a cloud infrastructure. So what we've done is we've built a cloud on top of the cloud infrastructure that of all the partners that we're using. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. You don't have to go out and negotiate agreements with multiple providers. You don't have to worry about geographic issues, as moving into China versus moving into Singapore. We have those capabilities already built out for you.
Yeah. And so let's go back then to we sort of were looking at 2022 and the adoption of cloud and bringing all of these great capabilities to the Americas. But so what next? What should we expect to hear from you as the year progresses?
Yeah, so we have three main initiatives for 2023. The first one is we built out our own cloud infrastructure that's under CTA brand and our CTA resources. And we are also building out, we're going to be introducing in the US or in the Americas region, an IoT solution. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a service called 5.0, which today has I think over 150,000 applications being used for IoT. And we're going to bring those capabilities to enable and working with some G to integrate it all into a bigger solution because as you go through digitalization, enterprises go through that process. They need these solutions, and they not only want it in the U.S. or in the Americas, but they also want to be able to connect it and make it seamless throughout the world, and that's where our value is.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, what are you hoping for this week? I mean, we're in day two. I asked someone this morning, are we on day 2 or 5? Or because it already feels like so much has already happened. It's Monday morning. We have a couple days left. What are you hoping for the most?
Well, it's always PTC is a great time of the year to kick off. Besides being in Hawaii, obviously, it's also so to reconnect.
Yeah.
Most companies go through their planning phases at the end of the year. It continues a little bit into this phase, but this is where you actually have a plan, and now you need to convey the message to your partners and your customers, and this is a great opportunity for this. So for us, is starting off with working with JSATV,
Yeah.
but to continue to work with other and communicating what we're doing it, and sort of educate everybody and continue
Right.
that process.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And so for those folks that couldn't make it to Honolulu and want to connect with you potentially after the show, where can they go to find you?
Yeah, so you can find us at www.ctamericas.com. You can find us also on social media, on China Telecom Americas, on LinkedIn, and on Twitter. I believe we have other sites, but I can't remember. But those are the main ones. So I encourage everybody to go out and reach out to us.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining
Thank you, Barbara.
first interview of the show.
Yeah.
It was a great start to it, a great start to the conversations. The conversations will continue for the remainder of today and on for the remainder of the week as well. So thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Thank you again for joining us. And we'll see you shortly for the next round of JSA TV Live here at PTC in Honolulu, Hawaii. Mahalo.